If you're a fan of running open source AI tools and platforms locally on your machine, then this video is going to be for you. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to download the AI starter kit that will include all open source, all free platforms like Qdrant Vector Database, n8n, Ollama, so that way we can use open source AI models and large language models. We're going to also use our MCP we can attach it to our AI agents. We're going to use the Airbnb MCP. I'm going to show you how to add that so that way you can see exactly what the process is like. And again, all of this will be run locally on your machine using the Docker desktop app. And we're not going to do any coding at all. I'm going to show you step by step how to just basically copy and paste so that way all of this is up and running on your own machine, so that way you can build amazing automations and amazing AI agents moving forward. All right, so without wasting too much of your time, let's jump right into the video. All right, so the first thing we need to do, you need to head over to the self-hosted AI starter kit, the GitHub repo that n8n did. I have the link right here. So if you just go over to self-hosted AI starter kit in my community, you'll land exactly right here. But if you're not part of the community, that's fine. You can just go to github.com/n8n-io/self-hosted AI starter kit. All right. So once you're there, so you're going to scroll down here. And here are the different installation instructions for depending on which machine you're using. Again, I'm going to scroll all the way down and come right here that says for everybody else, right? So these other ones are like, for example, if you have Ollama already installed on your computer locally, then you're going to use this. And also for Mac Apple Silicon users that want to run Ollama on your Mac, same thing, you're going to use that. But most of you are going to sit right here, or you're going to follow this instruction right here, because you're going to run everything locally on your CPU using Docker. So you're just going to follow this exactly step by step. So the first thing you need to do is copy this. By the way, I already did this video, a version of this video a while back, but that didn't include MCP, of course, and then a few other important points that I want to point out. So that's why I'm redoing this, so that way it includes MCP, and then also addressing a few of the questions and confusion that a lot of people had in that previous video. But anyways, we'll address that as we go along. So what we need to do is first copy this. It's git clone, paste it here now. Again, I'm just bringing in my Mac terminal. So let me zoom in actually, because that's there you go. It's much better. Okay. So I'm just going to press enter now. So now this is going to clone that folder. So now everything is good to go. So it already will create this self-hosted AI starter kit folder on your computer. So the next thing you need to do is just literally the next thing is that cd self-hosted AI starter kit. So I'm going to copy that, paste this, enter. So now we're inside that folder, and then we're going to copy this, paste it. Actually, before I do that, this is a very important step. So before you do this Docker compose profile CPU up, here's a very, very important point, because if you have seen my previous video, or if you have seen anything related to MCP, we need to activate this tool usage. So if I go, let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, because this is an MCP community node. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, let me see. There, right there, it says n8n community packages allow tool usage equals true. So we need to do this now, and we need to add this volumes node right here. Otherwise, this is gonna throw an error. So you're literally gonna just basically add this on inside your file once you have cloned this and once you're inside this document. So now let's go ahead. Before we enter that next step, we need to head over to our. You can do some kind of a text editor. I have like Visual Studio Code or a Cursor or whatever it may be. So that way you can open this folder. So all you got to do is click on open folder, and it already will pull up this self AI starter kit folder. So I'm just going to click on that, open it. So inside this, we're going to go to this Docker compose YML file. Okay. So what we need to do is now inside that, let me pull this on the side so that way you see what's going on. So as you can see right now, the environments, it has all these things, but it doesn't have this community node, right? It doesn't have this community package allow tool usage equal true. So therefore, we need to go and add that. So again, I've made it very simple for you. So all you have to do is come down here. You're literally going to copy this entire thing and replace that section of the file. You don't have to worry about anything else. So on the Ultimate AI Starter Kit section, I've put everything here nice and clean. So that way everything, all of the resources, the useful documentation, everything is there with a nice link so that we can just click on it and you can copy paste all these different credentials and everything else that you need. So make sure you check that out. We also have a bunch of other stuff and a lot of automations in my community in the classroom section that you can do the same thing. Basically everything is there available for you, and our community is an amazing space where a group of 880 plus now members are there to all learn how to build amazing AI agents with n8n, how to monetize AI, and how to build complex workflows. We're there to collaborate. We have a classroom section that's filled with everything from absolute beginners all the way to deep dive topics that are exclusive just for the community, including all of the resources that are there. So we have full stack web app, deep dive topics, voice AI agents with 11 labs, vector databases, all things AI agent, and a bunch of other stuff there too. And we also have our calendar section that we have daily calls from onboarding to co-building together, live builds, everything that you could think of, it's possibly there. All right, so make sure you join the community. I'm going to put the link in the description and hopefully I'll see you there. Anyways, let's get back to the video, right? So you're going to copy this n8n x whatever plus volumes, because as you can see in the bottom, I've added this n8n community packages allow tool usage equals true. And then also I've added this volume because this is very important as well. So now let's go ahead and literally just replace this, right? So I'm going to just basically delete this and paste it. That's it. Very simple. You don't need to do anything else. Just copy this and paste it on that file of yours. Okay. So once you do that, now you're going to save this, make sure this is saved, and we're going to turn this off or close that. I'm going to come back here. So let me go back to the, copy this one, and we're going to paste. Now before I enter, so if you want to see exactly what's going on and how this is going to download everything, I'm going to actually pull up my Docker desktop app. If you don't have a Docker desktop app, you're just going to go to docker.com and you're going to download this desktop app. It's very, very simple. Once you download that, you're going to pull up that desktop app, and your dashboard is going to look something like this. Right now, as you can see, containers, images, there's nothing there, right? So let me put this on the side so that way you can see exactly what's going on and how everything is going to get downloaded. So right now everything is empty. So now if I press enter here, now you'll see on the left hand side, it will start to pull in those images, and then it's going to import everything. So you can see right now, it's pulling n8n, Ollama, Postgres, Qdrant, and then there you go on the left hand side, as you can see, these images came through, and then now it's going to also pull up Ollama and Qdrant, and then the containers are going to get filled up as well. And you'll see once everything gets running, the self-hosted AI starter kit will be all running into this container section right here. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing. So Ollama is a bit heavier compared to others. So you can see it has 2.6 gigabytes that it's pulling. So that's why it's going to take a couple of seconds. All right, so everything looks like it's going through. And there you go on the left hand side, as you can see, the self-hosted AI starter kit. It all came through and it's all running by itself. Again, I'm not touching anything. That's just literally after changing that file, the Docker YML file, to make sure we're adding our MCP, and then that cloning, and then entering that Docker CPU compose up. That's it. I didn't do anything else. And as you can see, it pulled everything. It's now running everything. So I don't have to worry about doing anything else afterwards. And at the bottom, as you can see, it says editor is now accessible via localhost 5678. So now, if this is your first time, and if you go to your localhost 5678, let me get rid of that because I've opened it before, press enter. So if it's your first time, this is gonna take you to sign up for an account. Once you come to your account, you'll have your blank canvas. What you need to do is you need to head over and click on this settings right here on these three dots in the bottom next to your name. You're going to click on settings. You're going to go to community nodes, right? And you're going to add this n8n nodes MCP community node. How you do that is you're going to click on install, and you're going to literally just copy, what's the name of the community node? This right here. You're just going to copy this and paste it right here. And once you click on I understand the risk of blah, 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 you're just going to install it, and this will show up right here. And the way to double check this to make sure that MCP got installed is you're gonna go to just a blank workflow, and you're gonna search, click on this plus button, you're gonna search for MCP, and you will see that MCP client is there. And this little box, it just means it's a community node. If this is not there, by the way, all you have to do is just refresh the page, because sometimes that refreshing works. So that's all you need to do. All right, so once that's done, now let's go ahead and take a look at our Docker desktop app, so that way I can show you all of these different things that got downloaded. So as you can see, this is one folder, right? self-hosted AI starter kit, Ollama, Qdrant, Postgres, and n8n. All 4 of these have already been downloaded. They're all running, all good to go. Ollama is running on port 11434. Qdrant is running on port 6333. And then n8n is running on 5678, which is exactly what we are right now, right? It's localhost 5678. So now all we have to do is click on adding our AI agent. So if I click on adding our AI agent, you'll see that our Ollama is already there. So if I click on AI agent, that's good to go. So let me bring this over here, zoom in. So now the chat model, as you can see, if I click on this, Ollama chat model is here, and this will automatically pull in all your credentials. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to add new credentials. Since everything is running on Docker, it will automatically populate everything. That's a great thing about this AI starter kit. Like, you don't have to do this additional credential steps or anything like that. It will automatically pull everything. But if we go inside this, you'll see exactly, it says base URL Ollama 11434. And where are we getting that from? We're getting that inside our Docker, right? So Ollama 11434. So that's exactly what's happening. That's where it's connecting directly to our local host there. So that's what that means. All right. So that's good to go. So now, which means that our Ollama chat model is good to go. But now let's go ahead inside Ollama and see what's in here. So right now, the only model that's there is the Llama 3.2 latest, and this comes by default. If you want to add more models, there's a very easy way to do this. So all you have to do is head over to Ollama, and oops, that is not what I meant to do. If I click on Ollama, this is your homepage now. You don't have to sign in. You can just click on models here. So these are all the different models that are available that you can download and have it run on your machine via Docker, right? So the easiest way to do this is actually using this desktop, Docker desktop. So what you need to do is you're gonna click on, you need to make sure you're in the container side. You're in your container. You're gonna click on Ollama, and now you're gonna come on this exact file right here. So if you want to pull a model, so let's say you want to pull a model that you like. I'm gonna pull like a very small model, so that way it doesn't clog up my computer. So I'm just going to use this Gemma 3. So Gemma 3 1 billion. I'm going to use the 1 billion parameter. Right now it defaults to the full billion parameters, but I'm just going to use the 1 billion because it's super small. So so all you have to do is just now click on this Ollama, copy this. Actually, you know what? Don't copy this, because this is just it says Ollama run Gemma 3-1.b. What we need to do is we need to do Ollama pull. Okay, so you're gonna copy the name of the model. Actually, go to your Docker desktop, same thing right there. You're gonna do Ollama pull, and then paste the name of that model. Right? Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. Ollama pull. I think I copied the wrong one. Boom. Go back. There you go, perfect. Ollama pull, the name of the model that you're copying, and make sure you're copying the full name, because otherwise, you know, if you're selecting like a 1 billion or a certain billion parameter model, you want to make sure you're pulling the correct one. So just to go back and show you right now inside the Ollama model, you can see I only have this 3.2 latest, the Llama 3.2 latest. So if we now pull this, that will show up. So if I press enter, now this is going to pull that specific model into our n8n Ollama chat model there. Okay, so let it go ahead and pull that. This is a smaller model, so this should be quicker. Everything looks good. Perfect. I think that's working. All right, it says success. So now let's go ahead and go to our there you go, perfect. Inside the model, you can see this Gemma 3.1 billion parameter model showed up now here. Perfect. So let's go ahead and test that to make sure this is working. I'm just going to say hello. Let's see. There you go. Perfect. That looks like it's working. Hello there. How can I help you today? Do you have any question for me? All right. Perfect. So that looks like our Ollama is working properly, and we can easily pull models. And remember, you can pull any model you want here, right? Because these are all local hosted. So if you want to pull a DeepSeek model, if you want to pull Mistral, so there's a bunch of amazing models out there. I know Quinn is coming up with a bunch of new really cool models, so make sure you check out all these ones and you can pull up whatever you want. All right, perfect. So that's done. Now let's double check and make sure that our vector store is working too, because remember, we part of this let me go back to the containers here. Part of the AI starter kit is that you have access to Qdrant vector database, and right now it's going to be in port 6333. Okay, and the way to check that is now I'm going to go to localhost 6333, and yeah, you can just do 6333/dashboard, right? If I click on that, there you go. It says welcome to Qdrant. Remember, I don't have to log in, I don't have to do anything, right? All I had to do is just click on or go to the local host and it pulls up my Qdrant. So now if we go to collections, you can click on collections, and right now there is no collection because we haven't uploaded anything, right? So for now, just leave it as it is. We're going to go ahead and actually add our, so let's go ahead and actually add, let me get rid of this for now. Go ahead and add our Qdrant vector store. There you go. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a trigger on chat. Okay. And now we're going to do Qdrant vector store. Qdrant vector store. We need to add documents to vector store, right? Perfect. Looks good. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and add an embedding model. Same thing. If you want to add a local, completely local embedding model, same thing. You have to pull an embedding model. And right now there is no embedding model. So you need to go back to your Ollama. You're going to click on models, or actually search and just search for embeddings. And this is going to pull up all of the different embedding models that are out there, right? So I'm going to choose something like a very small one. This Snowflake, this is a very popular one. So actually, let's go ahead and just pull this. Yep. So all you have to do is now click on the dimension. I think it only has this 568 million, which is more than enough. You're going to just copy this time because it already has this Ollama pull Snowflake. So you don't have to do anything else. Just copy it. Come back here, go back to your Ollama, click on exec, and then now same thing, just literally paste this. So now this is going to pull that embedding model, so that way you can use that inside your Qdrant vector database, right? So once that is complete, you will see that now you will have your embedding model here that will be available. So while that's being pulled, let's go ahead and add a document loader. So I'm going to do a default document loader, load all input data. That's fine. We're going to do a text splitter. So we're going to do a token splitter. We're going to do chunk size 500 and then do a overlap of 50. Again, this is just to chunk the documents. So that way for vector search for your vector database, it's a lot easier to pull. Okay. So once you do that, let's go back to, there you go. That's complete. So now we should be able to see that embedding model here. So let's go ahead and see the model, and perfect. Snowflake Arctic embed 2. Perfect. Good to go here. All right. So now inside this chat model, we can actually allow file upload, so that way we can just add this automatically from inside our chat, right? So allow for meme tabs. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and now click on open chat. So now you can see in here, now you can add this file. So I'm going to go ahead and add, let's see, what do I got here? Title folder. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to add like these resumes that I have, right? Just to show you exactly like what you're capable of as far as adding this to your vector database. So I'm just going to say, where did Jordan go to school? So click on that. Oh, so it's giving me problem running workflow. Oh, I forgot to, let's see, inside this. Yeah, I forgot to add the Qdrant collection, right? Because we have to actually add the connection by ID, because we need to add our chat ID, because the connection from list currently doesn't exist. So I'm going to click on ID. To test this, I'm going to actually go ahead and say hello quickly. Shut this off so that way. Hello. There you go. Perfect. Whoops, my Qdrant disappeared. But that's fine. We can add it again. Qdrant vector store. Add documents. That's good to go. This time we're going to change this to ID, and let's go ahead and connect this. Come back here. Boom. And there you go. So we're going to grab this session ID right here. Okay. And perfect. All right. So now let's go ahead and add our document here. So I'm just going to add Jordan Smith instead of this whole 4 documents. So let's go ahead and try this again. Where did Jordan go to school? Press enter. So now this is gonna get that document vectorized, and perfect, there you go. It has 18 items that got vectorized. There you go. So let's go ahead and take a look at our collection. So now if I refresh the page, perfect, we got our document vectorized here. Okay, so everything looks like it's working there. Perfect. All right, so now let's go ahead and check to make sure that our MCP model is working as well, right? So same thing, I'm gonna get rid of that and just add our AI agent. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and bring this over. Chat model, I'm gonna choose Ollama again. I'm gonna choose the Gemma. Let's try that. That might not work with an MCP, but it's worth a shot. All right, so for tools, now we need to search for MCP, and there you go, MCP client tool, right? So now the way to add your credentials, because this is where we need to add the credentials that we're using. So this time, let's go ahead and check out, because I have a bunch of ones already, instructions to add the Brave search MCP, the Firecalls search MCP. So all of the instructions are here. This time we're gonna add the Airbnb MCP credentials. And to check this, the way to check which MCP servers are available, you're going to just click on these MCP servers link here. So these are all the different MCP servers that are available. And then on a daily basis now, there's, people are coming up with MCP servers. So if you click on the Airbnb one, so all of the instructions are here as far as what to do and what not to do, how to connect the credentials here. So you can read it right here. But like I said, I've made it a lot easier for you. So all you have to do is just go to this section right here, and each different MCP credential setups, I've given you the commands, the arguments, and the environments. So for setting up your Airbnb, the command is going to be npx. I'm just going to copy this, go back. Command is going to be that. All right, perfect. The argument is going to be this long -y and then this long list of things. Again, I'm getting all of that from the MCP server documents for Airbnb, so feel free to check that out if you want. And that's it. We don't need an environment because there's no need for API key. So I'm going to click on save, and let's go ahead and change this. MCP Airbnb. Okay. Oops. Click on save. That's perfect. Good. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Yep, awesome. This one is, I did that for, this is Brave. Actually, I should probably change that. And the way to do it is the same thing. You're just gonna say npx, and you're gonna copy this. So right here, this is the Brave search and credentials. Just copy this, and then you're gonna go to your your Brave search API key right here. You're just gonna copy your API key, and you're gonna come back and just paste it here, including the, let's see here, the variable says Brave API key equals your API key. That's exactly what you'll do. But we'll test both of them. But for now, let's go ahead and try the Airbnb for now. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. So actually, let me rename this so that way this is not confusing. Brave MCP. There you go. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and check out our Airbnb first. Okay. So there's going to be two that we need to attach, right? There's going to be our MCP list tools, and then also you can do your MCP execute tool. So this time the operation is going to be execute tool right there. And the tool name is going to be, you're going to use this from AI command. So right here, execute tool, I'm just going to copy this and paste it. Go to expression first. So this is essentially going to dynamically grab the tool necessary to, based on the query that the user is asking, to run that command. The tool parameters, you're going to click on these little 3 stars, so that way it's defined automatically by the model. And now we're good to go. So this time, I'm just going to say MCP execute. So that way we know we can differentiate. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and test this thing out. So I'm going to click on open chat, and I'm going to first ask it, what tools do you have access to? Okay. Whoops. Chat model didn't work. Oh, because I guess Gemma doesn't support tool use. Great. So go ahead and select a different one. I'm just going to use Llama 3.2. Let's try it again. Hopefully this does. There you go. That looks like it's using the proper tool, or it's using the model. And remember, depending on how fast your computer is, if you've downloaded like a bigger model, it will be a lot slower compared to your normal OpenAI, GPTs, or Claudes of the world. So just be aware of that. And there you go. Perfect. It looks like it worked. It says Airbnb search tool. This tool allows me to search for Airbnb listings with various filters, pagination, blah, blah, blah. And then Airbnb listing details. This tool provides detailed information about a specific listing, offering, and all right, great. All right, perfect. So it looks like everything is working. We got our MCP set up. We got our Qdrant vector database set up. We got our models that came through from our Ollama. So everything is all local, all free, completely in your machine, all run through Docker. So if you go back to your containers here, you'll see all of this is running. If you ever want to stop these, you can just come here and just click on stop manually, or you can just control C. If you just press or commands or whatever, if you're on Mac, I'm just going to press control C. So now you'll see it will stop everything. And now, it says connection lost, right? So if you want to run it again, same thing, you'll just do that Docker Compose profile up, or you can come here and just click on this start and it will run everything again. All right, so hopefully that made sense. Again, if you wanted to, I already did another one that was with just MCP and Docker setup, so feel free to check that out as well, because that was a very simple one. It was just using the Docker desktop to set up your MCP, your n8n, and that's it. But this specific one, this Ultimate AI Starter Kit, the great thing about this is that it has all the different use cases that you need, from Qdrant to your MCPs, to your Ollama. Everything else is nice and set up here, because now you don't need to worry about installing anything separately, right? Especially if you have some use case where privacy is a big concern. So you want to make sure you're running everything locally. Again, make sure you join the school community. We've got a great set of individuals and group of people who are very passionate about learning how to make amazing AI agents. We've got classroom sections that are filled with exclusive stuff like the deep dive topics about building full stack web apps and vector databases, AI agents, a bunch of other stuff, right? And then we also have our calendar agent that we have live builds, co-builds, we have daily tech support calls, we have onboarding and a bunch of other calls that you can jump in and ask any question. So make sure you check that out. I'm going to put the link in the description. Make sure you like and subscribe, because I've got some amazing content that's coming up that you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you on the next one.